Myself, Dr. Hanuman Prasad. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, IARE, located at Dundigal. Today I am going to discuss a topic from Module 4 titled Gender-Based Violence. And the title of the topic is Eve teasing. So, which is one of the gender-based violences. Let's see the contents that I am going to present in today's topic of Eve teasing. The contents are Introduction to Eve teasing, Modes of Eve teasing, Causes of Eve teasing, Effects of Eve teasing, Prevention of Eve teasing, and finally, References. Let's look at all these contents in detail. First of all, Introduction to Eve teasing. So, what is Eve teasing? So, why it is named Eve teasing? So, one should know that, and one should try to understand, and one should try to avoid that, and finally, one should try to educate the society in a proper way that no one should encourage Eve teasing. So, first of all, Eve teasing is a kind of sexual harassment of women by men with use of the Eve. With use of the Eve. So, if you remember the history, who is Eve? Eve is the name of the first woman in the universe. So, the word Eve teasing is named after her. So, because she is the first woman in the universe. Okay, so that is the history behind naming it as Eve teasing. The structure of Indian society has always been male dominated in general. Okay, but in the modern era, women tried to break the centuries of shackles by venturing into male dominated areas. Okay, so women are also trying to break that kind of male domination, okay, by venturing into those male dominated areas. Though we have grown by leaps and bounds, the most basic structure of society is showing no signs of improvement. So we are growing day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, and we are going by bounds and leaps, but the basic structure is not improving. Okay, in case of Eve teasing and in case of any sexual harassments, these are all going as usual. So they may be reducing, but they are going as usual. So one should be enough educated to prevent completely this kind of sexual harassments, any kind of sexual harassment. So especially today we are discussing about Eve teasing. Okay, so this is the introduction. Why it is named Eve teasing? Eve is the name of the first woman in the universe. So it is named after her. Let's look at the next content. Modes of Eve teasing. What are the different modes of Eve teasing? There are several modes of Eve teasing, some of which include offensive watch. Means it is watching offensively, not normally. So if you watch offensively, it is one type of Eve teasing, one mode of Eve teasing you can say. And sly whistling differently by looking at the girls or women. Well-timed clap. So whenever certain girl or certain woman is coming at that time, so exactly at that time clapping. So it is also one mode of Eve teasing, well-timed clap. Unwarranted knock, knocking the door without any intimation. Okay, unwarranted knock. This is also one of the modes of Eve teasing. Seemingly casual touch. So casual touches are also coming under mode of evitism. Lasting look at a helpless time. Okay, so when somebody is helpless, when somebody is alone or something, then looking at her starely, so with the negative intention. So that is also a kind of evitism, a mode of evitism. Slang comments, commenting in a different way. So that is also one of the modes of evitism. And cheap gestures. It is not required, but doing the gestures unwantedly. Okay. So where it is not required, doing the gesture is considered a cheap gesture. So this is one of the modes of evitism. So these are all the various modes of evitism. Okay, that we generally see in the society. Okay, so now these are the modes of evitism. Now let's look at the next content. Causes of evitism. What are the causes of evitism? What is the cause? Because of what evitism is happening? Evitism has many causes, some of which include evil company, means your companion is not good. Okay, for example, if you are good enough, it's okay, but if your companion is not good enough, then also you will go to the negative side. So then also along with them you can also participate in evitism. Okay, drug addiction. If anybody is addicted to drugs, then in unconsciousness they will go for evitism. Unemployment problem. So if somebody is not having employment in time, then they used to comment and they used to go for evitism for their time pass. Lack of proper education. This is the main reason. Due to the lack of proper education, people go for evitism. People do the evitism. Gender discrimination in the society. So this is also one of the main causes of evitism. Gender discrimination means male are strong, female are weak. Such kind of perception makes evitism as one of the causes. Absence of separate laws regarding evitism. If there are separate laws regarding evitism, then people will afraid and people will not do evitism. But due to the absence of separate laws regarding evitism, people are committing evitism. Okay, if there are really separate laws for evitism, then people will afraid. People will get frightened to do the evitism. So this is one of the cause. Absence of separate laws regarding evitism. Lack of moral and religious education in the curriculum. So this is also one of the main causes of evitism. Lack of moral and religious education in the curriculum. So if somebody is not teaching moral values and religious values, and these should be included in the curriculum as a part of education, then only people will be exposed to, especially the current era, they will be exposed to this kind of cultural knowledges and religious knowledge and how to behave in the society, how to be in the society. All these things will be well aware. So this is also one of the main causes of evitism. Lack of moral and religious education in the curriculum. And modern fashion. So by thinking that it is a modern fashion, people will come in the skirts and all, but that will lead to the evitism. Okay, if the other person is not having proper education, then he will think that in a different way, in a negative way, then he will do the evitism. So modern fashion is also one of the causes of evitism. I hope you are now aware about what are the different causes of evitism. Now let's look at the next content. Effects of evitism. What are the different effects that arise due to evitism? Evitism has many impacts on women. some of which include mental weakness due to eve teasing. The women or girls will become mentally weak. So, especially mentally weak, mentally. So, because of those kind of negative comments, they will get depressed or mentally become weak. So, this is one of the major effects or major impacts of EUD. Curtail education. So, education can be stopped in between, or you cannot go for the high level education because of the EUD. Okay. Early marriages. So, if some woman or girl is frequently getting teased, then what parents will think? Oh, she got the age. Instead of thinking in other side, instead of thinking to prevent the teasing, parents will think, okay, so we cannot do anything to stop them. Then they will go for early marriage so that they can stop the teasing, because husband will come and he will take care of her, right? So early marriages are the major impacts of eve teasing. Suicide. So if the eve teasing dose is high, then those girls or women who are weak, who are very sensitive, they commit suicide. So this is the biggest negative impact of eve teasing. And insecure feeling. So the girl or woman feel insecure to come outside, especially lonely when she is alone. So that kind of insecure feeling is due to the impact of UTC. And disappointment. They will get disappointed due to the negative comments and all. Decreasing of women rights. They will have less effect. They will have less thinking on their rights because of these negative comments, because of UTC. Okay, so these women rights will be diminished. So as the impact of UTC. And finally, hindrance of development. As I said, early marriages, curtailed education, insecure feelings, disappointments. Due to all these feelings caused by teasing, so the development will be hindered, especially for girls or women. Okay, so teasing has this many negative impacts. So one should have well education to understand all these things, and one should behave maturely in the society to avoid or to prevent all these kinds of harassing kind of activities. Okay, let's look at the next content. Prevention of teasing. How one can prevent teasing? How one can avoid teasing? Okay, prevent means completely avoiding. Okay, so teasing can be prevented by methods that include social awareness. You can see the image here, social awareness. So people should have that labels, they have the note, stick note or something. So stop teasing or avoid teasing. Those kind of things should be there, and people in the crowd should display those kind of stick notes. Then there will be one kind of awareness in the society. Okay, so all are against teasing means teasing is not good in the society. So people will get aware. Those who are thinking that teasing is just for time pass, not for any other impact. But unknowingly, some people will do teasing because they don't know what will happen because of their negative comments and all. So then they will realize that okay, so teasing is very bad. So due to this social awareness, so one can prevent teasing. So everyone, especially women or females, must have proper awareness on issues of society to avoid teasing. Okay, especially women or females must have proper awareness on the issues of society to avoid teasing. Okay, so The prevention method for EV-teasing that I have shown in this slide is social awareness. Let's look at the next method of prevention of EV-teasing. EV-teasing can be prevented by proper implementation of law with penalty. If the laws are implemented properly with penalty, then no one will do the EV-teasing. Everyone will have a fear feeling, strong fear in the mind. Okay, so we will be punished severely if we are caught when we are committing EV-teasing. So if one has that kind of thought in mind, definitely this EV-teasing can be prevented. Everyone will think, oh, it will lead to severe action. So then they will not do this EV-teasing. So proper implementation of law is very, very crucial to prevent EV-teasing with a penalty. Okay? If the implementation is not done properly, it should have some penalty. Okay? So then it can be prevented effectively. Article 76 of Dhaka Metropolitan Police Ordinance 1976 of the Penal Code of 1860 affirms that any acts that are used to disgrace women are punishable by law. So one must know this Article 76 of Dhaka Metropolitan Police Ordinance 1976 of the Penal Code of 1860. What it affirms? It affirms that any acts that are used to disgrace women are punishable by law. Okay? So one must have awareness on this Article 76, which is regarding EV-teasing, one kind of EV-teasing. So disgracing women means commenting women. Okay? So or gesturing women unwantedly. Okay? All these kinds will come under disgracing women. Okay? Especially EV-teasing. So Article 76 must be followed strictly in order to prevent EV-teasing. Okay? So one must have proper awareness on this. Please take a note of Article 76 of Dhaka Metropolitan Police Ordinance 1976 of the Penal Code of 1860, according to which any acts that are used to disgrace women are punishable by the law. Okay? Now let's look at the next content. Prevention of EV-teasing only, but next method of preventing EV-teasing. EV-teasing can be prevented by having sufficient amount of police in the institutions for saving the girls from teasers and punish them. So the number of police must be sufficient. Sufficient amount of police must be present in the institutions for saving the girls from teasers. So there will be separate institutions for saving the girls from teasers. Okay? So those institutions must have sufficient amount or sufficient number of police. Okay? Then this EV-teasing, wherever EV-teasing is there, police can attend there and police can take the situation in control. Okay? So in such a way, EV-teasing can be prevented if enough number of police are there in the EV-teasing related institutions. Okay? Which are meant for saving the girls or women from teasers. By ensuring instant punishment and penalty for teaser. So if one applies or if one imposes instant punishment whenever he is doing the EV-teasing, then instant punishment will help to prevent the EV-teasing. And even penalty must be given for EV-teasing so that he will never do EV-teasing. Because those EV-teasers are generally unemployable, so they will not have money. So if police are collecting penalty from them, so obviously they won't do because they are unemployed, they don't have money. Okay? So they are just doing for the sake of time pass. But if they are collected penalty, 100% they will stop the EVTs. Okay, so these must be taken in mind, and these must be uh, applied to prevent EVTs. Okay, there must be sufficient number of police in the EVTing related institutions, and instant punishment and penalty must be uh, collected from the EVTs. And the next method of prevention of EVTing is by taking some defensive measures by girls. EVTing can be prevented by taking some defensive measures by girls or women. It should be necessary for every girl or woman to have some training of self-defense to protect herself. Okay? She must be able to self-defend herself. Then she can prevent or she can avoid EVTing on herself. So, in fact, she can protect others also, because if she knows the self-defense techniques, then obviously she can protect herself and she can protect others who in her surroundings are facing this kind of EVTs. Engagement of girls or women in some taekwondo, judo, or karate. Okay, engagement of girls in these kind of activities, taekwondo, judo, karate, to bring out the gutsy talent and protect herself and others who are facing EVTs. Okay, so this is very, very important. Self-defensive measures. Defensive measures means self-defense. They must have training in the self-defense techniques such as taekwondo or judo or karate. Okay, to protect herself as well as others who are facing EVTs. Okay, so I hope you all understood. This is very, very important prevention method, because instead of depending on others, so they may come in time or they may not come in time. So instead of depending, so if you yourself are participated in this kind of defense techniques, self-defense techniques such as taekwondo or judo or karate, then you can protect from yourself. In fact, you can protect others who in your surroundings are facing this kind of problems. Okay, so please be have enough training in self-defense techniques. Okay, and the next prevention method for EVTing is by carrying pepper spray or small knife. So all the women or girls must carry pepper spray or small knife along with them. Carrying small safety weapons with you not makes you feel safe, but also not only makes you feel safe, but also help to avoid any kind of harassing situation. Means carrying small safety weapons such as pepper spray or small knife kind of things, it will do two helps. First one, not only makes you feel safe, it will make you to feel safe, because you have the prevention measure like pepper spray or knife. Okay, and but also it helps to avoid any kind of harassing situation. Okay, it makes yourself to feel safe psychologically, because you have the protective measures such as pepper spray or knife, and if any such commitment happened, so then you can apply the pepper spray or you can show the knife. Okay, and main thing is courage is important. If you don't have courage and you are just carrying the pepper spray and the knife, then it won't work. So courage is important. If you have courage, and you can avoid any kind of these harassment situations. Okay, so whenever you feel that someone is trying to touch you or unnecessarily trying to get close to you, just take out the pepper spray bottle and spray it in his eyes. Okay, what you have to do, what one must do. So please keep it in mind. If you notice anybody is trying to touch you unwantedly, unnecessarily, or trying to get close to you, okay, unnecessarily, okay, then just take the pepper spray out and spray it in his eyes. Okay, so everyone must have awareness on this kind of pepper spray and small knife. Okay, so please follow these techniques to protect yourself, and in fact to protect others surrounding you who are facing this kind of situation. Okay, and the next prevention method of eve teasing is, eve teasing can be avoided by dressing decently. So girls or women should not feel bad about this. So decent dressing must be there. So because the society is not good, many people are not well educated. So they will think that if the dressing is not good, they will think that they are giving signal for the negative things. Okay. So to stop that kind of uneducated or unmatured thinking, so one must dress decently, especially women and girls. Okay, dresses which expose the body parts of the girls often gives men wrong signal if moving alone. Okay, so this is due to the absence of well education. This is due to the lack of well education. Although there are some cheap people who still tease decent looking girls, but exposing leads to more teasing. Okay, there are some cheap people who still tease decent looking girls, decently dressed girls, but exposing leads to more teasing. So in such case, if exposing is there, then it leads to more and more teasing. Okay, so that is why decent dressing is very very crucial to avoid eve teasing. Just be covered and look simple, as it still keeps lot of evil at bay. Means even if you dress, even if you cover yourself properly and look simple, then also it keeps lot of evil at bay. So lot of negative sides, lot of unwanted comments will be there, even though you dress decently. Okay, that is why just be covered and look simple as possible. Okay, so you can avoid or you can prevent eve teasing by following all these prevention measures. Okay, I hope you all understood what is eve teasing and what are the modes of eve teasing and what are the causes of eve teasing, what are the impacts or effects of eve teasing, and what are the prevention measures of eve teasing. And finally, references. I followed two references. One is Gender Studies by Kadambari, and second one is Gender Sensitization by Rajalakshmi Kalyan. Thank you very much for all of your kind attention and all the very best.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.